Hi everybody, I hope you're okay today. We're going to be having a look at perimeter today, which is a type of measurement. So I am learning about measurement as our learning intention. By the end of today, we will be able to calculate the perimeter of some 2D shapes. We will be using millimetres, centimetres and metres in all of our answers, and we will be using addition strategies. We might be using multiplication and subtraction strategies, but addition will be the main one that we use today. So the main word of today is perimeter. So what is a perimeter? The perimeter is the total distance around the outside of a shape. This means that we add the outside lengths together. So for example, if I had this shape here and I have got all the lengths of the different sides there, so I've got 16 centimetres, 24 centimetres, 16 centimetres and 12 centimetres. I need to add them up to find the perimeter. Now there's a couple of different ways of adding them up, just depending on how you like to work your sums out. We could break it down into 2 or 3 smaller sums. Because we've got 4 numbers to add up there, it might be quite tricky putting them all in one big chimney sum. So what I've done there is I've taken a 16 and a 24 and put it in a small chimney sum, and then the 12 and the 16 and put them in another chimney sum. So I can add those two parts up first. So 16 add 24 is 40. And then 12 add 16 is 28. I can then take those two answers and add them up. 40 adds 28 is of course 68 centimetres. So you can break the sums down into smaller sums and then find the total that way. If you're confident in doing a big long chimney sum like that on the screen, then that's absolutely fine. Some people prefer it to just be in one sum. So if you just add them up as normal, we're going to get the same answer, which is 68 centimetres. So there's a couple of different ways of showing your working today. You can do a couple of sums or one big sum, it's completely up to you. Let's have a look at some questions for us to go over now. So we've got 4 questions on the board there. Be careful with each one. Some of them are centimetres, some of them are metres and some of them are millimetres. Some of them have decimals and some of them are just 2-digit numbers. So pause the video here, have we go at those questions that are on the screen just now, and we'll get the answers in a little second. Awesome guys, hopefully you managed to work those out. Let's have a look at the answers. I'm going to do them in a big long chimney sum, that's just how I like to do the working out for these questions, but like I said earlier, if you broke it down, as long as you get the right answer and you can explain how you got there, that's okay. So for the first one we had 16 add 14 add 18, which I think makes 48, and we need to remember to have centimetres at the end of our answer. That's really important to have that measurement unit in there as well. Number 2, we had 6 add 8 add 7 add 9, so hopefully that made 30 metres, so I've got that in at the end as well. For question 3, we had 2.8 add 2.2 add 4.3 add 3.4 add 4.9. That might have been one that you wanted to maybe break down into a couple of different smaller sums there, but hopefully we managed to work out that the answer was 17.6 millimetres. For question 4, I've kind of zoomed in on this one to see it a bit clearer. So I did break this one down into 2 smaller sums just because there were 6 numbers to add up and I felt like that was too many to do in one big sum. So you might have broken them down into slightly different sums, but remember everyone's process will be different, but hopefully we'll get to the right answer at the end. So I've added up 49, 71 and 27, and then in a separate sum I've added up 62, 55 and 27. So hopefully 147 and 144 are correct, and then take the answers for both of those sums and add those up together, and the overall answer was 291 centimetres for that last one. So that one was just tricky because there was a lot of numbers to add up, and you might have made wee errors in your maybe carrying and things like that. So if you did get any wrong, just go back and have a wee look and see where you went wrong. Let's have a wee look at some different examples. So sometimes not all the lengths are labelled, and you will need to use your knowledge of 2D shapes to fill in the blanks. Let's have a wee look at how this might look. So here I have this rectangle, and I've got 2 of the sides labelled. I've got 22 centimetres and 14 centimetres, but I don't have those other lengths. Now I can't just add 22 and 14 together because that would only give me the lengths of those 2 sides. When we're finding the perimeter, remember it's the whole way around that shape. But I know a little bit So because I know a little bit about rectangles, I know that those two sides are going to be the same. So 22 and 22 are going to be the same, and then 14 and 14 are going to do the same. Now I can choose to add this up in a big long chimney sum like that on the screen, or I can choose to do a little bit of multiplication. Because I know I've got two lots of 22 and two lots of 14, I can do those as multiplications. So on the screen you'll see in brackets I've written 2 times 22 plus 2 times 14, which is exactly the same as adding them all up in a big long chimney sum. Let's add the chimney sum up first and then have a look at the multiplication section. So adding them all up in a chimney sum, I hopefully get 72 centimetres. If I want to add them up as multiplication, what I do is those wee bits in brackets first. So I do 22 times 2 first, which is 44, plus 2 times 14, which is 28. So then I have to do 44 add 28, which gives me the same answer as 72 centimetres. So it's completely up to you how you work it out from here. If you're happy and comfortable just doing the chimney sums for addition, that's absolutely fine. If you want to give the multiplication a wee go, that's not a problem. It is completely up to you. Let's have a wee look at some questions for us to try together. So I have got 4 questions for us there with missing sides, and I would like you to find the perimeter of those shapes. For question 4, you will notice that there is only one side that has been labelled with a length. However, there are lines on the shape as well. These lines mean that each side is the same, so you should be able to work it out from there. So you can pause the video here and have a wee go at these. Remember, it doesn't matter what strategy you're using as long as you show you're working. We'll get the answers in a little second. Okay, we're going to quickly run through the answers for these problems then. I'm going to show them as the multiplication method, but if you've used addition, that's absolutely fine. So for question 1, I had 2 times 7 add 2 times 6, which should be 14 add 12, which gives me 28 centimetres for question 1. For question 2, I had 2 times 5.3 add 2 times 2.2, which gives me 10.6 add 4.4, giving me an overall answer of 15 metres for number 2. For question 3, I had 2 times 7 add 2 times 17, which is 14 add 34, giving me an answer of 48 millimetres overall. For question 4, I knew that I had to do 4 times 12.5 because there are 4 sides of 12.5 centimetres. So I did this in a little chimney sum and I got the answer of 50 centimetres overall. Hopefully that's made sense. We're going to go on to some word problems now, using a little bit perhaps of subtraction. So on the screen just now, here is a triangle, and this triangle has a total perimeter of 83 centimetres, but it has a missing length, and we have got to find out the missing length. There are a couple of ways of working this out. What I could do is I could use 83 and take away one of the sides, 28. So I could do 83 take away 28, which gives me 55. I can then do 55 take away the other length, so 55 take away 36, which gives me 19, which means that last length must be 19 centimetres. That's one strategy for working it out, starting with the total, taking away one length, taking away the other length from the answer, and what you're left with must be the answer of that missing side. Another strategy we can use here is we can add up the two sides that we already have. So we could do 36 add 28, which gives us 64. Then with the 64, I can take that away from the total, so 83 take away 64, which leaves me with 19 centimetres. So whatever way I do it, I get the correct answer of 19 centimetres. On the screen just now, I have some examples for you to try. So you can pause the video again. Be careful, we've got decimals and we've got millimetres and centimetres and metres, so just be careful with what you're doing as your answer. Pause the video here and we'll get the answers in a wee second. Alright guys, so we've got a couple of different strategies that people might have used to work these questions out. So I'm just going to give you the final answer for these rather than going through all the different ways we could find the answers. So for question 1, the answer was 10 centimetres. For number 2, the answer is 8.8 metres. And for question 3, the answer was 59 millimetres. So well done if you got those correct. Some of those were very tricky. Last but not least today, we have got some trickier problems for you to try. If you've maybe got some wrong so far, you don't have to go ahead onto these problems, but you can if you absolutely want to. So, here is a rectangle, and this time we have been given the perimeter and we've been given the length of one side, and it's asked us to find the missing length there. So what we do is we can do 17 times 2. We know it's a rectangle, so we know that 2 of those lengths are going to be 17. So 17 times 2 gives us 34, which means those two longer sides, the total of those two together makes 34 centimetres. What I can then do is do 52 take away 34 to find what's left. So when I do that, I get 18. So the two missing sides, the two shorter sides, must have a total of 18. Because there are 2 of those sides, I do 18 divided by 2, giving me 9. So 9 centimetres is the answer for that missing side there. Okay, I know that was fast, guys, but what I've got for you to try is just a couple of these examples to see if you can work through finding out these missing lengths using that strategy. So you can pause the video for one final time and see if you can work out these 2 final problems. They are tricky, so take your time. Well done, guys. It's been fast today, but we'll get these last few answers and then that will be us done. So for the first one, I have got 2 sides that will need to have a total 20 times 2. So 20 times 2 equals 40. So then I do 58, which was our total, take away that 40, leaving us with 18. 18 divided by 2, because I've got 2 sides left to work out. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. So each side must be 9 centimetres for that one. For the second one, I do 28 times 2 first of all, which is 56. Then I do 100, take away 56, giving me 44. We could use our jigsaw numbers knowledge there. Then I do 44 divided by 2, which gives me 22, which means those missing sides have to be 22 millimetres. Well done for that today. It was very fast, so hopefully that's made sense and maybe just jogged your memory on how to do perimeter problems, what is a perimeter, finding out everything about perimeters. So hopefully that's made sense. You can fire me a wee message on Teams if you have any questions, and I will speak to you all later. Well done again. See you soon. Bye.